What is going on, everyone? So this is my very raw reaction to the news of Davante Adams requesting to be traded from the Raiders and, trying to go somewhere else. A lot of people saw this one coming, and I'm going to be honest, maybe I'm just naive. Maybe I was believing what he was saying, but I didn't believe that Adams wanted out. I didn't believe it. I thought Adams wanted to. I thought Adams wanted to stay a Raider. He was really excited. And for all intents and purposes, the Raiders, do they look great this year? No. Okay. I'm not. And I was under the impression, and I'm pretty sure I said it on Drew Code, that, this is a team that I'd be surprised ends up winning, 6 games or more. And so that's kind of what I was under the impression, that I don't have high expectations for the Raiders. And, I think this kind of solidifies Davante Adams thinking the same thing. He's been pretty open and honest about he doesn't know how many more years he has left in the NFL. And so this decision that he wants to be traded to a contending team. And the first team that I thought of is the New Orleans Saints. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, well, listen, the Saints were hot for the first 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden they're cooled off. Yes and no. I still think that the Saints are better than what a lot of people think. But the other thing is, and what I think a lot of people are forgetting, is Adams went to the Raiders because of Carr. And then the Raiders, and I believe all of this has started because of this situation. Everyone wants to talk about, we got to get rid of Carr, blah, blah, blah. Gruden loved Carr. Gruden was like, dude, this guy has gotten better and better. And let's not forget Gruden's final year there, and then with Rich Bisaccia as well. Their final year, that was the best that Derek Carr looked. We could talk about 2016 Derek Carr, which was also phenomenal. But with Gruden, he was getting better and better each and every year. And that ended up being a playoff team where they barely lost to a Bengals team. And so this all started with, we need to get rid of Derek Carr. And then they hired Josh McDaniels. And McDaniels really didn't get who he wanted. So he said, okay, we're going to keep Carr for another year. I think we're going to get Tom Brady. Then they had Derek Carr. Then they benched him because they said, well, we want to keep his trade value and whatnot. And it's funny because if they would have just let Carr start the last 2 games, he probably would have done him a solid and let them trade him instead of just saying, no, you're going to pay me and I'm going to go. But anyway, beside the point. Then Carr goes to the Saints, signs with the Saints. And Davante Adams literally got traded to the Raiders when Carr was there with McDaniels. Then McDaniels gets fired. And then Adams is like, okay, well, let's keep Antonio Pierce then. They listen to him. And he's like, okay, let's get a quarterback. And they get Gardner Minshew. I mean, if you're Davante Adams, it's a slap in the face. It's like, wait, so you guys want to pay me to not do anything? You want to pay me to not be the best receiver in the NFL? To complain about I'm not getting targets? Like, no, let's win football games. Pay me to win. Don't pay me to just be there. And that's exactly what the Raiders ended up doing, was they paid him to just be there. And he literally was their only saving grace in their offense last year. And in this year, he's been really good. Brock Bowers has been really good. But everyone else kind of struggling. Except for that Raider defense. And so it's very strange. And it's something that it's not surprising that he wants to go. And again, like I said, he really didn't get a fair shot with Derek Carr. Derek Carr wanted to play with Adams. Adams wanted to play with Carr. And they got 1 year. And they got 2 games shorted of it. They thought they were going to be playing together for at least 2 to 3 years. And, unfortunately, they didn't get that. So I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he goes to the Saints. The Raiders, and this is why I believe it now even more, is I thought the Raiders were going to ask for a first-round pick, maybe try and get a high first-round pick. Probably have to throw someone else in there. They're asking for a second-round pick. So, I mean, the Saints, it's viable. It's possible. Cody, I'll give him credit. He mentioned the Bills. I actually agree with that one too. I think the Bills would be a really good one. And we can say Davante, he's been drama, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't. He's been upfront and honest with us since day one. He's been saying, I want to be on a contending team. I want to win. And if he goes to the Buffalo Bills, he's not going to be like the Stephon Diggs situation. He's going to be more like Davante Adams to the Raiders. He just wants to win. That's it. And if they're winning, he's going to be good. If they're not, there's going to always be that talk. And it's more the media. More of the media was like, oh, are they going to trade him? And he was like, no, we're good. And then finally, when things were starting to go awry, he ended up saying, okay, well, now I want to trade. So he's not drama. He's been honest with us. And that's that. So I think Saints, Bills, I do think the Jets have a chance, but I don't think Adams is going to go from one tire fire with the Raiders to another one with the Jets. I don't see that happening. I just don't think that's going to be the case. So that's my honest opinion. I think the Raiders are going to either trade him to the Saints or the Bills. Outsiders chance with the Jets.